To national stories now, the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC on Thursday approved the publication and release of the guidelines for political campaigns, as well as election expenses of political parties, candidates and aspirants. This was contained in a statement issued by the National Commission and Chairman, Information and Voter Education Committee, Festus Okoye in Abuja. Okoye said that the Commission met on Thursday and deliberated on several issues, including the publication and release of the guidelines, as well as deliberated on the appointment of a secretary to INEC. Okoye said that the INEC has consequently uploaded the two documents to its website and social media handles, while copies will be made available to political parties, civil society groups, the media and other critical stakeholders. He reminded political parties of their obligation to submit the required reports to the Commission by the provisions of Section 90, subsection 4 of the Electoral Act 2022 and the applicable sanctions for failure to comply, as provided in Section 89, subsection 4 of the Electoral Act. A support group advancing the presidential ambition of former Nigerian Vice President Atiku Abubakar and his running mate Ifeanyi Okowa has received over 400 DECAMPEES from a cross-section of political parties into the People's Democratic Party fold in Oyo State. Receiving the defectors, leader of the support group, Olubukola Olayinka, explained that the DECAMPEES decided to exit their former party and pitch tent with the PDP due to what they termed the outstanding and enviable achievement of the former vice president, whom they say had revolutionized the political landscape. They promised to work for the electoral victory of Mr. Atiku, a man whom they project would reposition the nation back on the path to socio-economic prosperity.
Today we are welcoming the APC people that are around. So they love me, they believe in my leadership. Atiku is our in-law. His first wife is Titi Atiku. He's a Yoruba woman. So he's our in-law. And he has wives in all tribes. So what else? He's our in-law. I believe in him. I believe to work with him. I have faith in him.
We are from PDP from 1998. We left 2016. And we decided to come back because we are not benefiting from APC. That's why we come back to PDP through mayor.
13 years after its removal from the basic curriculum, the federal government formally announced the reintroduction of history subject as a standalone course in the basic education curriculum. The Minister of Education, Malam Adamu, while speaking at the flag-off ceremony of the reintroduction of the teaching of history and training of history teachers at the basic education level, lamented that the national cohesion was being threatened with the country retreating into primordial sentiment because of lack of knowledge of the evolution of Nigeria following the removal of history from the basic education curriculum. He said teachers would be provided with the requisite skills needed to teach the subject, the technique, methodology which will eventually give the subject a didactic outlook. The Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide SANWO-OLU, has said the state recorded no bank robbery in the last 3.5 years due to the efforts of the administration. SANWO-OLU made the call on Thursday during his keynote address at the 16th Annual Town Hall Meeting on Security organized by the Lagos State Security Trust Fund. He said, and I quote, "Our efforts have yielded results as Lagos remains largely safe. In the last 3.5 years, we have continued to maintain the Lagos record of 0 bank robberies in our state." End of quote. In his report, the Commissioner of Police Lagos State Command, Abiodun Alabi, disclosed that despite its challenges, the State Command has arrested no fewer than 142 suspects between October 2021 and September 2022. The chairman of LSSTF, Mr. Kehinde Durosimieti, said, and I quote, "The disruption of global supply chains has led to the fund receiving the least level of private donations in 2022, and it was only able to provide for security agencies by rethinking its approach to support and, of course, being judicious with its expenditure." End of quote. Chairman SOMOLU Local Government Area of Lagos State, Abdul Ahmed Salahu, has been described as the People's Development Leader. IBrandTV reports that participants at the maiden edition of an ICT training for youth said the chairman has empowered them beyond expectation.
3-day ICT training close, initiator of the training and special advisor to the chairman, SOMOLU local government, Kola Mohammed, said the chairman of the local government is interested in giving the right training to youths in the locality to help them become employers of labor. Mr. Mohammed advised participants to put the skills acquired from the 3-day training to use and become wealth creators.
It's one thing to plan and it's another thing to execute. And it's another thing for your execution to get acceptance. So those 3 things checked, they all worked out for us. Special thanks to the executive chairman of SOMOLU local government for his immense support and for his belief that this program will hold. So as it turns out, the program is a success because let's check everything. The participants got value for what they sought for. The 3 programs we included in the workshop, programming, UI, UX, and digital marketing, the turnout was incredibly acceptable or fine. Yes, let me put it that way. Because if you look at the hall today, it was filled to capacity. So let's assume that we had full attendance of all those who registered. This all wouldn't have contained us, but thank God. And thanks to the chairman for his immense support. This program turned out to be a success.
Eulogizing the chairman and initiator of the training, participants at the event said training and retraining of the youths is the way to go in creating jobs for the teeming unemployed population in the country.
I must really commend them for actually putting this together. I'm very grateful for the opportunity because I wasn't really expecting it to turn out like this, but it was amazing. So what I've been learning for the past 3 days, it's been able, this made me to actually start up something in tech because I'm looking forward to expanding more than this from this day. So I'm very grateful. We learned a lot about programming, UI, UX design, those things that have actually been, creating fears, because people are actually saying tech is hard, but no, with this breakdown and everything, we are grateful to God. So we'll be able to pursue tech more than this.
This is a massive course, a massive project to a community as such as SOMOLU. With what SOMOLU is known for, and in this phase, the way SOMOLU is turning through the present administration of Honorable Abdulhamid Salau, aka Dula. So we will say one day Nigeria will get there if every local government is moving towards technology.
I will first of all say I'm very happy to be one of participants of this wonderful program. For those who actually put this together, I will say a very big thank you to them. We say a very big thank you to the organizers, and we really appreciate that. And we look forward to seeing more of this.
Today, we can see and show to the world that SOMOLU has come to be one of the ICT-driven service giving in Lagos State.
Though the 3-day ICT program may have come and gone, the knowledge acquired by participants cannot be overemphasized. IBoji reporting for IBrandTV News.
To African stories now. Authorities in the island nation of Sao Tome and Principe thwarted a coup attempt overnight, the Prime Minister and West Africa's regional bloc said on Friday. The Gulf of Guinea nation's military barracks came under attack shortly after midnight. Prime Minister Patrice Trovoada told a press briefing and on private broadcaster radio Somos Todos Primos. Quote, "We were targeted by an attempted coup which began around 12:40 a.m. and was completed shortly after 6 a.m., he said. 4 attackers were neutralized and detained, and the National Assembly's ex-president Delphine Neves was arrested on Friday morning, Trovoada added. The head of West Africa's main regional bloc, ECOWAS, Guinea-Bissau President Umaru Sissoco Embolo condemned the coup attempt on Friday. Militants from Somalia's Al-Shabaab attacked a military base in the central Galgaduud region on Friday, the group and a local government minister said, prompting violent clashes as the army and allied clans sought to repel them. The early morning attack in the village of COUP, which included suicide car bombs, comes as government forces have made several battlefield gains against Al-Shabaab in the last 3 months, regaining territory with the help of clan militia. The The Al-Qaeda-linked group, which controls swaths of Somalia, had lost the village of QUAKE to the government forces a few weeks ago. The information minister in Galgaduud, Ahmed Sher Falagli, said government forces had fought the attack and were in control of QUAKE. However, Al-Shabaab's military operations spokesman Abdiaziz Abu Musab disputed that account. He said the fighters had taken QUAKE, killed soldiers and stolen military vehicles. He also acknowledged Al-Shabaab's forces had suffered casualties in the attack. Malawi's Anti-Corruption Bureau has arrested the country's Vice President SOLOS close CHILIMA over graft allegations, it said on Friday. CHILIMA would be taken to court where he was expected to be charged with 3 counts of corrupt practices by a public officer, among other charges, the corruption watchdog said in a statement. Footage from local media showed supporters of CHILIMA and the police seemingly in a scuffle as he was being taken into court for the formal reading of charges. The watchdog has been investigating Satar and other public officers in Malawi over alleged plundering of state resources by influencing awarding of contracts through the country's public procurement system, it said. Earlier this year, Malawi's President Lazarus Chakwera dissolved his entire cabinet on charges of corruption against 3 serving ministers. Chakwera pledged to calm down on corruption during his inauguration in July 2020. We'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll bring you more stories. Stay with us.